Welcome to Early Years Matters TV.
Hi guys, I hope you're all keeping well and safe. Welcome to Early Years Matters TV. On today's episode of Early Years Matters TV, I am going to be discussing 5 ways to build children's self-esteem. Yes, today's discussion is going to be all about 5 ways to build children's self-esteem. If this is the kind of video you're interested in, please make sure you watch it to the end. All right. Firstly, you need to let children understand that self-esteem comes from within. Yes, children need to have a general understanding that self-esteem comes from within, okay? So you also need to let children know that in relation to self-esteem, okay, they do not need the outside world to validate their self-esteem, that it starts from them, okay? So it's really important that children have a general understanding that self-esteem starts from within, okay, comes from within, it starts from them, okay? So please take note of this. All right, the first way to going about boosting children's self-esteem is to give responsibility and choices, okay? Adult needs to understand that in relation to building children's self-esteem, they need to give choices and responsibilities. But I would also like you to know that in relation to giving choices and responsibility, it has to be age appropriate. All right, listen to this, okay? In relation to giving children choices and responsibility, you need to consider the age of the children. This is really important. I'll cite an example. For example, young children from birth to 8, okay? So if you want to give choices, if you want to give responsibility to this group of children, it has to be something that they can do. It in relation to boosting children's self-esteem, it's really important that you give responsibility and choices that are age appropriate, okay? For example, in the area of early childhood, okay, you could ask young children to tidy up after themselves, help you to set up the table, okay, tidy up their room, pick up socks from the floor, okay, help with little bit cleaning, help with little bit of household chores, okay? This is really important. And then when they are older, okay, when they are teenagers, then you need to know that, okay, the tasks, okay, the things that you're going to ask them to do, okay, it has to be a little bit on further, okay? Like for their teenagers, you could ask them to clean the bathroom, okay? You could encourage them to cook, to bake. So it's really important in relation to boosting children's self-esteem. You need to give responsibility and choices, because you give children responsibility and choices, okay, by the time they are able to do these choices, okay, they'll be so proud of themselves, and this is going to help in relation to boosting their self-esteem. Please take note of this first tip in relation to building children's self-esteem. Second tip to boosting children's self-esteem is praise sincerely, okay? Praise is really important as adults, that when you want to praise children in relation to building their self-esteem, you have to be sincere about it, okay? And what do I mean by being sincere, okay? You give praise according to what you see the children did, okay? It's really important, okay? You give praise, okay? In relation to praise is feedback, okay? Let's say, for example, if a child is doing something and you're so proud of what the child is doing, you praise sincerely and be specific, okay? In relation to praising, be specific. I would cite an instance. For example, you're not just going to say to a child, good boy, well done. Good boy for what? Well done for what? So it's really important, okay? Good boy for tidying up after yourself. Good boy for coloring, good boy for painting. So you can see it's really important in relation to when you want to boost children's self-esteem and you're giving praise, you need to be specific. What has the child done that you're giving the child praise? The child needs to know, okay, well done, Johnny, for tidying up after yourselves. Well done, Johnny, for cleaning the table. Well done, Johnny, for doing your homework. Well done, Sarah, for speaking with your inner voice. Well done, Sarah, for playing nicely with your friends. So it's really important. Take note of this. In relation to boosting children's self-esteem, you have to be specific when you're giving praise, all right? Tip that I'm going to be talking about today in relation to building children's self-esteem is use failure as an opportunity, okay? I would like you to know that failure is part of life, okay? I also like you to know that when children fail, use it as an avenue to teach them to try again. It's really important in relation to building children's self-esteem. You need to encourage the children, okay? When there is a failure, you encourage them to try again. That failure is not the end of the life. Failure is not the end of the road. It's really important, okay? And we're talking about building children's self-esteem because sometimes when children they did something and they are not getting it right, they feel frustrated or they are tired, they want to give up. Oh no, I don't want to do this again, this course is so hard, I'm not going to do it again, I'm sick and tired of it. This is where you as the adult comes in relation to building children's self-esteem. You encourage them to try again, that failure is part of life, that they have to keep going, keep pushing until when they reach their goal in life. So it's really important in relation to building children's self-esteem, okay, that you use failure as an opportunity to encourage them to try, to keep pushing, that they should never give up. Take note of this as well, all right? Okay, so the first tip that I'm going to be talking about today in relation to building children's self-esteem is avoid harsh sarcasm and criticism. This is really important, okay? Like I said earlier, like for example, if a child has failed, okay, and I know it's going to be painful as an adult, you want to kind of like give up, okay, but it is really important, okay, that you avoid giving harsh criticism and sarcasm in the public. I know it's not easy. Sometimes when children do something that is wrong, as parents, guidance, or as teachers, you want to lash out, you want to give out to them because you're tense. You're like, oh, this is not what I'm expecting the child to do. Why is this child behaving like this? You want to give up, you want to nag, you want to put the roof down. But I'm going to say to you, it's really important in relation to building children's self-esteem that you need to calm down and take it easy. I know it's not easy. Let's be sincere. I'm talking, I'm speaking. I know it's not easy. I'm speaking from a parent perspective, okay? And I know it's not easy. But in relation to building children's self-esteem, you as the adult, okay, you need to avoid giving harsh sarcasm and criticism, okay? It's really important, okay? You need to sit down and have a discussion with a child. And you also need to consider in relation to giving feedback to children, it has to be age appropriate. You have to consider their age, okay? So if you're giving criticism, okay, to a young child, early years from birth to 8, okay, you have to, there are ways that you have to go about it. Oh, Johnny, you're the best boy, but next time I would like you to behave this way. This is what is expected of you. So it's really important, okay? Avoid giving harsh criticism and sarcasm in public, okay? In relation to sometimes, okay, when young children misbehave, or when children misbehave, when teenagers misbehave, or you just have to calm down and talk about it and discuss. We were talking about building children's self-esteem, and in relation to building their self-esteem, no child, when you give harsh criticism to children, okay, it tends to pull them back and they kind of like, it will not help in relation to building their self-esteem. So take note of this in relation to building children's self-esteem. Avoid harsh sarcasm and criticism in public. Do take note of this as well, all right? Okay, so the last and the fifth tip that I'm going to be talking about in relation to building children's self-esteem is create opportunities for success, okay? Create opportunities for success. In relation to building children's self-esteem, you need to create opportunity for success. And how can you create opportunities for success? The only way you can create opportunities for success is to focus on the child's strength, okay? I would also like you to know that children are unique individuals. They have their own strengths. In as they have their own strengths, they also have their own needs as well. And it's really important in relation to building children's self-esteem, you focus on encouraging them to be successful in life. And how can you encourage them to be successful in life? Focus on their strength, what they are very good at, okay? And use what they are very good at to make them to be successful in life. It's always important, okay? As adults, we have something that we're good at, or there's some things that we're very good at. The same thing with children as well. They have their own strength, okay? It is now your role as adults to observe your children. This is where observation comes in. Whether you're the parent, you're the guardian, you observe, or teachers, you observe this group of children, okay? Not just finding out about their strength, you use this strength to support them to be successful in life. Let's say, for example, if a child is good at making things, encourage the child to start baking, to start doing things that has to do with using their fine motor skills, that has to do with using their hands. And this is going to boost the child's self-esteem because the child will look at, yes, I'm able to do these things and I have people supporting me. I would like you to know that in relation to building children's self-esteem, the ball is in your court as adults, okay? Because you are the ones that are going to supporting these children to build their self-esteem, okay? I hope you have taken notes of these 5 points that I've listed in relation to building children's self-esteem. Please do take care of yourselves, and until bye.